Hello, everybody. I'm Lauren's dad. So nervous I had to read that. Um, anyway, Lauren, thank you for picking me to be the father of the bride today. Uh, Excellent. Anyway, Jonathan, Lauren, you guys have worked so hard to put this together for everybody. I know how many hours you put together to do it. Even though this is supposed to be your day, you just made it special for everybody here. So I think you should just take a minute, look around, take a deep breath. See all the friends that have gathered here for you. People have come from really all over the place, right? I was looking at the list. You got people from New York, Boston, Pittsburgh, Seattle, Denver, Portland, Ottawa, Toronto. I know we have a whole bunch of people from Texas here. Where are all the Texas folks? Hey, hook 'em, gig 'em, whatever you guys do. You know that old saying, when your daughter gets married, her life flashes before your eyes? I'm not sure that's really an old saying, but it happened to me. It really happened to me. I've been spending a lot of hours just looking at family photos, looking at your whole life story in pictures. So many memories growing from that little baby loaf of bread at Beaumont Hospital. Remember that? No, you probably don't. You were little. All the way to this very moment, your wedding day. There's so many pictures, so many memories. Boy, you played a lot of sports back then. I really enjoyed our softball toss. Before, at the first look here today, Lauren and I were able to play a little catch with a softball in the backyard there. It was kind of fun. It's one of my favorite things to do. Hope you know that. Your life, it's like a movie to me right now in my head. I love every single minute of it. I want to thank you and your mom. Hi, Bernadette. That's my lovely wife over there, Bernadette. You have both made it so easy. I love you both. You remember those old dictaphone tapes back in the day? Back when Lauren was in preschool, she would leave me voicemail messages. Her very, very first day of preschool, she got home. She was so excited. She left a message that said, what did you say? Yeah, you called just to tell me that you had made pretty much a lot of friends. Remember that? But my favorite one, I think, was just a real short one where you said, "Hi, Daddy. I had a good day. I made a picture for you. I love you very much. Goodbye." But I just wanted to know that I love you too. Very much. And I'm having a pretty good day myself. Sorry for taking so long to get back to you. Got to snort. Got to snort.
That's one. That's counting.
Lauren, you've grown into this amazing woman. You're still making pretty much a lot of friends wherever you go. I just think that all the work you've done for charities, the way you've gone, you worked for about, 5-6 years after undergrad and then went back to law school. And then she ended up graduating magna cum laude from the University of Michigan Law School. That's it. Yeah. That's not easy to do. That's not easy to do. You saw the what do they call that thing? The timeline. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to need a lot more help before this is done. Yeah, I would appreciate that. But I was looking at number 3 where Jonathan won the Game of Lightning, right? Said that during the halftime show of a Big Ten tournament game, Madison Square Garden, remember that?
Yeah.
Yep. I was there.
Yep.
I remember watching it.
Yep.
It was like the most aggressive Lightning game I think I've ever seen. People would miss a shot and they'd be tackling each other trying to make the next shot. But Jonathan came out the winner. And I remember sitting up in the stands there. I didn't know who you were. But I just looked at him and I said, now that guy's a winner. Yeah. I sure hope Lauren can meet a guy like that someday. And it happened. I'm such a terrible speechwriter. These are my notes. These are my final edits. You've both been preparing your entire lives for this. You both have built lifelong friendships by doing the things that friends do. You're loyal, you're giving, trustworthy, you're accepting of people the way they are, forgiving when it comes down to it. You're always there and willing to help. That is why you have so many people here who have been friends from early childhood, grade school, high school, college, and beyond. You both know what it means and what it takes to be a good friend. You had friends lining up yesterday, just to testify to that fact. They say that you're blessed if you get to marry your best friend. I think you're both very blessed. With that said, let's give a toast. Anyway, may God bless you both, and may God bless your marriage. Cheer here. I got it.
I'm Lauren's oldest brother and man of honor, Bobby. I'd like to start off by thanking the Wagonecks and my parents for putting together such an amazing wedding. I've seen the amount of work they put in behind the scenes to make tonight possible, and it's truly impressive. I'd also like to thank John for waiting 10 years to propose to give me enough time to create this speech. Now, I know today is all about Lauren and John, but before I get to them, I also want to take time to thank my parents, who somehow managed to raise 3 kids who all love and support each other. I've had the privilege of standing next to my brother and my sister on their wedding days, and I just know you did an amazing job as parents. I know it wasn't easy, and it still isn't. So thank you. Now on to Lauren. When Lauren asked me to be next to her on her wedding day, I was so honored and a little confused. I had a few immediate thoughts about being her man of honor. The first was that I wanted absolutely nothing to do with the bachelorette party. So thank you, Kaylin, for handling that one. The second was that Lauren had finally outsmarted me. As kids, Lauren would always try to get me and my brother to say nice things about her at the dinner table. Despite Lauren's best efforts for the past 30 years, I've always been able to avoid saying anything nice about her publicly. That's 2 snorts? All right, nice. But now she finally gets her way. I have to say some nice things in front of about 300 of our friends and family. So make sure that you're recording this, lots of cameras, because it's not happening again. As the man of honor, I think part of my duties are to highlight just how good of a partner John is getting. Lauren is one of the kindest and most loyal people I've ever met. Lauren is never looking to get anything out of her kindness. Instead, she lives her life this way just because that is who she is. I've seen this kindness firsthand so many times, but one story really stands out to me. Many of you here may know that Lauren has worked for various autism-related nonprofits to help raise funds. Yeah. While employed by a local nonprofit, Lauren was the site leader for her team at an art and music festival. At this event, I saw Lauren frantically running around with a walkie-talkie, coordinating countless volunteers. Then, a man with a young boy approached her to see if she could help them find a way to see the child's favorite band, who happened to be performing at the festival later that evening. The young boy had autism, so he'd need to watch the show from a sensory-friendly area. Despite being so incredibly busy, Lauren dropped everything and was able to track down tickets. I was just in awe about how my baby sister could be so caring while still being so in control of all the moving pieces she was overseeing. I'm not sure Lauren even knows I saw this happen. She did not mention it to me once and was not looking for any praise for doing it. She just wanted to help a boy and his dad. That's just exactly who she is. In addition to being so kind, I have never met anyone who loves their family as unconditionally as Lauren. I can say this confidently because Lauren asked me to be up here with her today, despite all the torture my brother and I put her through our whole lives. As kids, I remember playing football in the backyard with my brother and the boys in the neighborhood. Lauren would always show up wearing her little cleats, wanting to play, and we would always chase her away. I'm eternally grateful that Lauren never stopped showing up when I tried my hardest to push her away. As I got older, I never knew how badly I would need her in my life. I've dealt with some really difficult situations, and my sister was always the person I could go to for support. I knew no matter what happened to me, I could call her, and there would never be any judgment, only love and support. Really, thank you. Now for John. I've said a lot of things about Lauren being a great partner, but John's a great partner to Lauren as well. John has always allowed Lauren to shine and be the best version of herself. His calm, rational engineer skill set complements Lauren. For example, Lauren was planning yet another fundraiser, this time a pickleball tournament in Austin. Lauren came up with the idea and was focused on the vibes of the day, like music and food and making sure everyone's having fun. John, on the other hand, jumped all in on the logistics. I'm not joking when I say I saw John working away at 2 a.m. on an Excel spreadsheet, making sure he created the perfect tournament bracket. He was also compiling weather reports and coming up with contingency plans. Unsurprisingly, the event was a massive success. Knowing that my sister has such a supportive partner who truly wants to see her flourish puts me at ease knowing that they'll be together achieving many great things for the rest of their lives. So welcome to the family, John. Lastly, I know many of you are probably disappointed that I didn't tell any embarrassing stories about Lauren, and honestly, I would have if I could. But she's just the perfect child, and I honestly wasn't. So I couldn't risk Lauren going to my mom after this and telling her all the things I've gotten away with for 30 years. So no stories about Lauren. Now, if everyone could please raise your glass and toast to John and Lauren and to many years of happiness. Cheers.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brian, and I am the best man. The brother of the groom and father of dragons. I mean, father of the flower girls. Otherwise known as the son who lives in Boston. First, a big thanks to Bernadette and Bob for hosting an amazing celebration. It's rare to have this many friends and family together in one place, but I'm not surprised Jonathan and Lauren can fill over 250 seats with people who care about them. And the live band next, I know we're all excited for that, so I'll keep my remarks brief-ish. Jonathan and I go way back. He's the 5 years younger brother, which means we never attended the same school together and didn't really overlap much in terms of shared interests. I was the introverted bookworm, band geek, Boy Scout. He was the extroverted, sports-obsessed, constantly moving human golden retriever. On family car trips, I'd be quietly reading Lord of the Rings novels, and he'd be playing PlayStation NCAA football on the van's flip-down TV, and talking trash to imaginary opponents. We grew up in a divided household. Mom's a Spartan, Dad's a Wolverine. And naturally, we each picked a side in that rivalry. He was raised on Wolverine sports propaganda, including the VHS of the 1997 non-consensus national championship football season. Talk to Nebraska, and that video played in our family room more often than Barney the dinosaur. Fun fact, Jonathan was actually quite a big Spartans basketball fan around the time MSU won the 2000 national championship. But eventually, he completed his journey to the dark side, and there was never really a question where he would attend college. Although there was that one summer after freshman year when he considered transferring to MSU because it sounded like his friends had it so much easier there. In many ways, I blazed a trail for Jonathan that he's been fortunate to be able to follow. At Hazlitt High School, I established the family name as synonymous with dazzling academics. He was a solid sequel. Yeah. I never dated anyone in high school. Jonathan? Check. I got a degree in engineering and moved out of Michigan. Check and check. I got married in my early 30s. Check. I fulfilled the prophecy long foretold of grandchildren occupying bunk beds at the family cottage. We'll see. In many other ways, Jonathan is blazing a trail for me. His old man back, his ascending hairline, and his pace of accruing former employers. Is that 3 or 4 now? Jokes aside, I really do look up to my younger brother, partly because he's taller, but mostly because of who he is. As adults, I really appreciate the close friendship we've built, despite living far apart. Jonathan prioritizes friends and family, and I admire the effort he puts into maintaining those relationships, including with me. He has so much empathy and compassion, and he's always focused on maximizing the happiness of people around him. Jonathan also has the courage to follow his own path. Quitting an unfulfilling job to travel the world without the next one lined up? Yeah, this isn't the first time. Chasing his dream of becoming a college basketball referee? A couple of years ago, he started with middle school games, and now he's set to officiate women's collegiate games this winter. It's fitting that Jonathan met Lauren at a Michigan basketball Final Four event years after graduation, and that much of their 7-year courtship has been long distance. They're both passionate sports fans with an unhealthy interest in the colors maize and blue. They both have a strong focus on building community and maintaining relationships. Both are stubborn and persistent to grind out a win like this wedding in the face of adversity. And they're both still figuring out exactly what they want to be when they grow up. But they've found in each other a partner who will support them and hold them accountable to pursue their dreams. My family is thrilled to officially add Lauren to our roster. She's funny, caring, thoughtful, and we're all incredibly proud of her recent law school graduation. Jonathan will be a loving and committed husband, and he's lucky to have such an amazing teammate. So, please raise your glasses. Jonathan and Lauren, I love you both. May your marriage be a championship dynasty. Few fouls, plenty of assists and slam dunks, and always winning together. Cheers.
Lozano, what's the line on number of voice cracks for this speech? 3.5. Okay, we'll see how it goes. First and foremost, thank you everyone for being here. This is just absolutely incredible. This is the absolute perfect day. I get to marry my best friend. I get to see all my other friends from the various lives we've lived, from high school, middle school, college, Houston, Austin, for me, everywhere in between, friends from Detroit. Everyone that we recruited along the way, I'm so happy you all could be here. I really appreciate that you guys made the effort to be here. Brian and Bobby, great speeches. Thank you for Bobby saying nice things. Brian mostly for saying nice things. Thank you. Why do you got to out me with the basketball thing for Michigan State? Why do you got to do that? I do think I owned a Michigan State basketball jersey once upon a time. It was pretty terrible. But ultimately, I also want to thank the Lewis family for everything that you guys have done to help make this reality. My parents as well. But ultimately, I want to thank Lauren for being there by my side. We've been through a lot. We've been through different cities, different life experiences, and I couldn't ask for anyone better to leap off into the rest of my life with.
I wrote that for him. I'm just kidding. I get the honor of thanking our parents. As we were planning this wedding, so many people said, "Oh, this is your first group project working with your parents. That's going to be fun." It was so fun. We were so lucky to work with both the Wagonecks and my family to plan this wedding. And over the time, we got to hear stories about their weddings and their love stories and our grandparents and all of the things that came before us. And it just became the most fun. a lot of logistics, but mostly fun. But I also have to call out my mom because because this is nowhere near our first group project. My mom has been a part of every project I've done since preschool. She had quit her job as a star rising CPA to take care of her very shy, hard to believe, 3-year-old who wouldn't go to preschool without her. So she was a room mom, and we made noodle art together. It carried on through middle school when she was dyeing yarn with blueberries so we could crochet a knit scarf together in social studies. It carried on through every nonprofit job that I have ever had when she would stay up late with me and stuff bags, stuff name tags, set up events. It was unreal to have your mom. I used to call it take your mom to work day, which maybe isn't the best thing to do in your 20s, but it worked out really well for me. It carried on through law school, which maybe I'm not proud to admit, but I would call her frantically, asking her to explain depreciation recapture rules so I wouldn't look like an idiot in front of Prof. D again. Meredith gets that. She would be outside rebounding for me so I could make 100 free throws before I would go inside. And my mom has just made sure that every project that I've taken on in my life was a group project because she was there for me. Whether she was not so quietly cheering me on from the sidelines, or right next to me, selflessly putting herself into the work. I've never, ever felt alone. And having her work on her first group project with Jonathan was a full circle moment. And it felt incredibly special. It was a reminder that I don't just have this wonderful partner in Jonathan, who is so caring, helpful, supportive, as everyone has reiterated, and it is so true, and I am so lucky. But we're both so lucky to be surrounded by all of these people, everyone here, our families, our friends, my mom, who will do anything just to make sure that we're happy and supported. We're so ridiculously fortunate. I'm blown away by everybody here. Like, this is crazy. So just thank you, everybody, for being here. Please eat, drink, dance, have fun, and meet new people, because I promise you every single person in this room is the most amazing person you are going to meet. So please just have fun. Thank you so much for being here.